Journey with me through the emotional experience of love, devotion, and ultimate heartbreak in raising my son with significant disabilities. This is a collection of memoirs that capture a life well lived. I hope it inspires, I hope it teaches, and I hope it entertains. Thank you for joining me. So, during the reading of the journal entries of the early days, I noticed, and I'm sure others did too, how quickly I began to become enmeshed, became sucked into the vortex that is hospital. There's a lingo, there's a flavor, there's a feeling or lack thereof. It's inescapable, and it's something that is difficult to describe to anybody who's not experienced it. And so I remember, even in the very early days of him being in the NICU, I found myself sneaking into the small little off libraries or rooms with books that were there for the purpose of the residents and other medical staff to read. It started off with really simple stuff like preemie things, because he was little, and although he wasn't early enough to be considered preemie, some of the care he received was similar to that a preemie received. And so those are the kinds of information that I would begin to consume at the hospital. But it certainly progressed and increased, and so as they began to perform tests on Danny, trying to discover and figure out what was wrong with him, I began to investigate more things like molybdenum cofactor deficiencies and sulfite oxidase deficiencies, major significant inborn errors of metabolism, things that I clearly to this day can rhyme off as though they're common words. And I say this because I want other parents and maybe supporters to realize that it's a real vortex, and I don't know how else to explain it except for to use the word. That you become immersed in this life, in this way of being, talking, and breathing. The air you breathe. Not only does it smell different, but it's different. Everything is different when you're inside that life. Time in the normal sense has no meaning, and it certainly has no meaning once you're in the hospital as the patient. There's literally no meaning to time. It has no use or meaning. And when you spend enough time like that, it begins to influence who you are. It begins to create an illusion of life. And I don't judge it as neither good or bad. For me, it was a coping mechanism. It was necessary. It helped me. And I love it for that. However, it's isolating. It isolates you. It sets you apart from everything, from everybody, from normal. It separates you from normal. You are no longer normal when your life revolves around living and dying, around medicines and the survival of another person. Yeah, it pulls you away from normal. And I think I want to make that point for people who are either experiencing it